Have you ever wondered what heaven looks like? Is it a place of peace and harmony, or a city of gold and glory? And if heaven exists, can we see it from Earth? Well, some people claim that NASA has found heaven in deep space, and they have the evidence to prove it. But is this claim true, or just a hoax? In this video, we will examine the origin and validity of this viral claim and explore the scientific and religious implications of finding heaven. But before we begin, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to get notified of our latest videos. Now, let's get started. When we talk about space, we often find things that surprise us. Every time we think we understand what's in space and how it all works, we invent new tools like telescopes or come up with new methods, and things in space get even more strange. In 1994, there was a picture from the Hubble telescope claiming to show the City of God in deep space. If you're doubtful, that's okay. We often like to think of space explorers like the crew of the Ark, boldly discovering new worlds despite the risks. Leaving Earth is riskier than many jobs and can lead to death. But if an astronaut is heading to the afterlife, they don't expect a direct flight. Or do they? Recently, a video on TikTok has brought back a 30-year-old fake image of the God's heavenly place. Let's be clear from the start. The image is not real, but let's discuss why it's fake and not part of some secret government plan. When Hubble saw space clearly for the first time, Hubble Space Telescope played a big role in shaping how we see the universe today. It was sent into space on April 24, 1990, and started working the next day. But there was a problem. The main mirror was faulty, making the images blurry. Still, Hubble sent back pictures of planets and faraway space things, changing what we knew about the universe. In December 1993, astronauts went on a mission to fix Hubble. They added new tools and made updates to fix the blurry pictures. After that, the pictures from Hubble became super clear. At that time, Hubble was the best telescope in space, giving us a way to explore the universe like never before. It opened the door to amazing discoveries about the sky that were about to shake up our understanding of the world. The TikTok video suggests that NASA discovered heaven using the Hubble Space Telescope in 1994, right after fixing it. The video claims to have insider information from the narrator's uncle, who supposedly worked for NASA. We need to be cautious about believing this story, as it seems a bit doubtful. But let's continue. In the video, which is about 5 minutes long, the narrator says the picture of a heavenly structure is a secret NASA revelation that the organization tried to hide. None of this is true, even if the person talking really has an uncle at NASA. For many years, people have been saying NASA found signs of different religious beliefs. As scientists explored how the universe works, some individuals claimed to find proof of the divine. NASA didn't take pictures of heaven with the Hubble Space Telescope or any other telescope. Herbig-Haro 901 is a big tower made of gas and dust inside the Carina Nebula, which is a large area where stars are born in our galaxy. The tower is many light years tall and has some very big young stars inside. Back in 2016, an image started spreading online claiming to show the gates of heaven in a nebula. People said scientists were puzzled by it, but that wasn't true because the picture was fake. It was actually a piece of art by Adam Ferris, who used a special method to make art from Hubble images. He took a real Hubble picture of Messier 17, the Swan Nebula, and made the gates of heaven by rearranging the pixels. Ferris never said his work was real, but others later used it to tell a religious story. Now, there's a recent viral video talking about the City of God image from 1994, which everyone knew was fake when it first came out 30 years ago. It was originally in a story from a magazine called Weekly World News, titled Heaven Photographed by Hubble Telescope. If you don't know, Weekly World News was a funny magazine that talked about strange things like half-bat, half-human creatures, and whether people were related to aliens. People read it for laughs, not because it told the truth. If you're enjoying this video so far, show some love with a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you haven't already. Now let's back to the topic. The story is based on a somewhat shaky foundation of truth. It starts by mentioning recent fixes made to the Hubble, the ones that corrected the mirror issue, and the first clear pictures taken afterward. Supposedly, astronomers aimed Hubble at the edge of the universe and saw a stunning celestial city floating in space. The image, just like the magazine, is in black and white. It shows what seems like a distant city or maybe a big house on a hill against a dark, star-filled sky. Beams of light spread from the city's edges, reaching into space at strange angles. This makes the image look heavenly, but it also exposes that it's not real. The beams of light are not natural. You might have noticed in pictures from Hubble or the James Webb Space Telescope, JWST, that bright objects like stars have characteristic spikes of light around them. If you've seen both Hubble and JWST images, you might have observed that the spikes in Hubble images are different from those in JWST images, and there's a reason for that. Diffraction spikes are like special patterns in pictures taken with telescopes that use mirrors. The light collected by the main mirror can get a little distorted, partly from touching the mirror and passing by the support struts. When we look at big, spread-out things in space, the distortion is tiny and not really noticeable. But when we look at stars, the strong light makes noticeable spikes. These spikes are not part of the object we're observing. They are just a result of how the telescope is made. So, we can figure out which telescope took a particular picture by looking at the spike pattern. Now, let's talk about the spikes in the picture claiming to be heaven. Something doesn't add up. There are about a dozen spikes going in different directions, but they seem to lean more to the left. This spike pattern doesn't match Hubble or any other telescope in space. Hubble's spikes, you can see them in a real Hubble image, form a simple cross, with pairs of spikes going horizontally and vertically. There are only 4, and they always spread out at 90-degree angles. This doesn't prove the story is fake, but it does show that Hubble didn't take that picture. If we pull on the details of the story a bit, it starts falling apart. The whole thing relies on what author and researcher Dr. Marcia Masson supposedly said. The problem is, there's no record of Dr. Masson in scientific papers doing space work at the time when the photo was said to be released, or at any other time. Every other claim in the story, like then-President and Vice President Bill Clinton and Al Gore being deeply interested in the photo, and scientists concluding that the city in the picture is where the souls of the dead live and we found where God lives, all come from unnamed sources at NASA. So, the claim that NASA found heaven using the Hubble Space Telescope in 1994 appears to be a baseless and debunked story. The image circulating on TikTok and other platforms is not a genuine revelation, but rather a 30-year-old fake from a magazine known for humorous and sensational content. If this video sparked your curiosity or ignited your imagination, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Let's build a community of wonder and exploration together. Don't forget to subscribe for more fascinating insights into space mysteries. Thanks for watching.